Yo, I hope you're enjoying your ride. It's time
for the Drive for Five
podcast. Let's go. Yo, this is the Drive for Five podcast. We are back, man. Talk some sports.
It's been a minute.
Yes, sir. This is your boy, Coach Chris.
This is your boy, Coach Miles.
And we are here talking about some big things that's happened over the last couple of days in sports, last couple of weeks, actually. As everybody know, they were just announced that Bradley Beal is heading to Phoenix on a big trade in the NBA for Chris Paul, Sham, and a couple of second-round picks.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I get it on Phoenix side. They get some youth. You know, they get another shot creator besides Devin Booker and KD. KD gets hurt, so that's another guy that can just step up and you kind of won't miss the points because shit. I mean, Bill is a hooper, man. I think he's really gonna hoop now that he's on the team that could potentially do something. That's how I feel, man. And then on Washington's end, I think it was more so like, hey, we'll take this on and buy him out. I think there's gonna be some kind of buyout, and then
Washington's in a full blown rebuild.
Yeah. So there's gonna be some kind of buyout there, and then it's gonna give Chris Paul the freedom to go wherever he chooses. He needs to go to LeBron.
That's gonna be big. I want to talk about that too, man. But aside of this trade here, man, I feel like I don't know. I'm looking at Phoenix and I'm saying this reminds me a lot of what was going on with the Nets when they got Harden, Irving, and KD. You got a plethora of shooters. You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna push up the rock? Who's gonna distribute the ball? All you have is a bunch of shooters. You can get
KD to dribble the rock up.
KD can dribble the rock up, but he's gonna cause no number every now and
then. Devin Booker, I mean, he was the point man for a little minute before he started getting all these guys.
We all know how that worked out, though. If you look at their record, he's never been a guy that
he doesn't have to be a facilitator, though.
Well, you need one.
We don't know who they got on the bench. Number one, we don't know who they gonna bring in. They may bring in like a Dennis Schroeder or something like that. To kind of somewhat manage the game. But I mean, come on, we talk about the NBA, man. Anyone, all five of them can bring it up. I think they slick slowly. I think they slick trying to build a poor man's Golden State Warriors back in their little heydays where they had all them shooters.
Yeah, I can see that too. I just don't think they're the same.
Spread it open for Ayton.
The reason why that matters to me so much is because I'm looking at it like this is the NBA, and we all know the NBA. The chemistry matters a lot, man. Like the way who you hooping with, how you hooping. If you're a shooter, somebody taking up the lane, like we already know. We thought DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis could work. Two big men, seven footers in their prime, but they're clogging up the middle at the same time. So it's like it's a lot of that, man. You got these guys just matching up, thinking that you got a bunch of all-stars on your team and you can win something. I don't know if that's always the case. Which brings me to the facilitator that they did have, which is Chris Paul. Now, if they are able to buy out, he's able to buy out in Washington and slide over to Phoenix, maybe on like a
man. Chris Paul ain't going. Man, he ain't going back. He ain't going back.
He says he loves Phoenix.
Of course he gonna say that, man. That's part of the game.
No, I mean,
come on, man. He's a vet. Like we don't, the vets ain't bashing no team.
No, I get that. But he chose Phoenix.
He going to LA play with LeBron, man. He's playing 1 year with LeBron.
All right, so he plays with LeBron, right?
Yeah.
Right, let's put that out there. He plays with LeBron. Does that make them any better than they were last year with the age of Chris Paul?
Yeah, because I think he'll upgrade over D'Lo. He can facilitate. He can play a little bit of D. He's smart. He's savvy at this point in his career, man. Like, I think right now he's chasing the ring. So if I'm him, I'm going back to LA. Now he could go back to the Clippers. I think I'm going back to LA, man, especially with his kids being in on TV and all that stuff now, man. He's trying to continue to push their career. We know he's not going back to the East Coast.
Nah,
where you gonna go?
Ain't nowhere to go in the East.
You know what I mean? If I'm him, I ain't going to Miami. Shit, I ain't playing with Jimmy. I thought you seen what Jimmy just did. Man, I ain't playing with him.
How about Milwaukee? You got a chance to win the ring with Giannis. And him the pick and roll, that'd be something serious.
That.
Yeah, so it's like
I think he'll be a good fit in Memphis too. I think he would be, man. I think he would bring some kind of veteran presence because that's a young team.
It's a very young team. Very young team.
So you bring in a leader like that. Like I still don't think they should have gave away Mike Conley. Mike Conley would have went real good with this squad, in my opinion. But hey, I only got a couple years of high school experience, man. So I'm still trying to figure out how stuff is going, man. I know Griff. Shout out to Griff. Griff been kind of changed my eyes on how this whole basketball thing work, man. So it's definitely a strategy to it. I'm learning about strategies in baseball, man.
Yeah, hey man, I ain't an expert in none of this football, man.
I'm learning all these little strategies.
Football, but, you know, I in reference to all this, you know, the baseballs, the soccer. I know a little about soccer, but the baseballs, basketballs, you know, I know what I know.
I don't know nothing about no soccer.
I'm call it like that. I'm a fan.
I don't know nothing, but I know I'd rather watch soccer than baseball.
Hell yeah,
I know that.
I mean, all respects to the America's pastime, but baseball, man, I go for
baseball ain't it.
The beers and the hot dogs every now and again. Man. That's about it.
They got good nachos too.
Nachos, yes, sir.
They got the nachos, man, and the peanuts. I don't know, but here's the thing though. I can go to a baseball game, but I can't watch it on TV.
I'm definitely not watching it on TV.
I can't watch it on TV.
I can't. It's on. I gotta turn.
Only thing I like about baseball watching on TV is when they playing in the daytime and the grass looks beautiful and stuff like that. Like the stadium.
I always happen to catch like something epic about to happen. Maybe like someone about to break the home run record or. Somebody's pitching a no-hitter or something like that, and if that's where it's cooking down to like the 8th or 9th inning, I might catch that. But I ain't gonna sit there and watch from inning 1 to the bottom of the 7th. Like we ain't doing that.
Yeah, I've done it. Don't get me wrong, I've done it, but like I was telling the coaching staff earlier today, man, like it's just too slow.
Yeah, that's just it's not exciting.
Like I be feeling like them chicks when they be like, yeah, I don't get football. What did you throw a touchdown score? Like I'm feeling like that with baseball, man. You throw whatever kind of pitch you trying to throw. We don't know why you throwing that pitch,
right?
But obviously he does. You know what I mean? So he's throwing this kind of pitch to get him to swing. Maybe he's trying to get him to ground out. Like, they're throwing pitches to ground him out. They're throwing pitches to strike him out.
Yeah.
Like, they're throwing pitches to get him to pop up.
Right.
Like, all these different things are taking place that we have no clue what's going on, but we're quick to call them sorry. We don't know what's going on.
I would never call a baseball player sorry. I mean,
it just throw the ball, hit the ball. Home run, run around the bases.
It's more of a mental game than anything, man. But you know, shout out to baseball players. Shout out to the MLB. I definitely play the show every now and again. That's a great game. But yeah, man. Moving on. Interesting things is happening with Deion Sanders, Coach Prime over there in Colorado. I'm not sure if you heard the news, man, but they saying with his foot, man, the blood flow.
He posted some kind of.
Yeah, he may have to have his foot amputated. That's what they're saying. Like, you know, just.
That's crazy. Have you seen it though? That shit look nasty.
Yeah, that toe was wild, man. He lost 2 of the toes already due to that turf toe. And you know what's so crazy, man? Because back in the days when we was playing, when we was watching him play, and he missed a couple of games due to turf toe. I used to be like, man, turf toe, dog. Like, hey. Yeah, I get it, but it can't be that bad. You know what I mean? It was like he was starting to retire because of it. You know what I mean? like it's interesting to see that now it cost him both, 2 of his toes and possibly his foot an injury like that, man. Because you'll never know.
It's crazy. Now I don't know how severe it was to that extent, but high school, I think it was my 10th grade year, going into my 10th grade year, got Jefferson High School down there in Tampa. Shout out to them J boys. We had a young coach came in, Jason Lane. Shout out to Coach Lane. He just got done playing running back at Indiana State. Young, buff, like they came in with all this energy and shit. But we always used to ask him, like, hey man, why you stop playing? Why you stop playing? Well, a routine play in practice, he ran out of bounds. Just a routine play. The guy stepped on his foot. And like something happened to like his little on like the top of the toe part where like the veins and stuff at. Yeah. He can never get power out of that foot anymore. And I hey Coach Lane, don't shoot me for it, man. I don't really know the story. I just know it was something like that. But it was something crazy like that with his foot, man.
Freak injuries, man.
Yeah,
That's wild
for sure.
Man, shout out to Coach Lane.
He got it going though. He got it out there going out there in Colorado. Them boys still trickling in, man. They just got Kamani just came in.
Man, listen,
I'm curious to see about this.
I'm calling it out. Everybody keeps saying I'm wrong. I'm tripping. I'm calling 8 games for Colorado this year, straight out the gate, and that's including them winning the bowl game. So I'm counting them winning 8 games with them winning the bowl game, 7 regular season, but. I got Colorado pulling it out this year, man. Like I know it's gonna be a tough road, but with the guys that he's bringing in and their commitment to probably wanting to turn this around for Deion, with Deion, like he can cultivate a team. You know what I mean? And that type of motivation and confidence putting into football players, man. Some of the best football players in the world. Playing in that where they at? The big what are they over there?
No, they're in Pac-12.
Pac-12.
Yeah, they're in the Pac-12.
Man, listen, I all that speed he can bring up out there, especially some of them Florida boys. Count me a prime believer. I'm a believer, man. I got them winning at least 8 games this year, and I got them.
I got them winning 7. I got them winning 7. I truly believe that they will win 7 games. Like. I get what everybody is talking about, man, what it takes to build a team and chemistry and all these things. But one thing that I do know, and I'm not saying that they're going to go out and they're going to win a championship year 1. Because now that's when you get to talking about the chemistries and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But listen, I'm going to tell you something, man. You get you a couple athletes that believe in what's happening, you're going to win games. Man, now, are you going to win championships? No, man, because that comes with a lot of put work in.
Right.
But I'm going to tell you that all it takes is the right voice, a few pieces, and getting everybody on the same page to believe. Here's what I truly believe why they will win this year. It's because he's got all these staff members that believe in what he's doing. So I believe he makes it a very workable environment.
Yeah. Where
guys are excited to come to work. Because I think he's also got a couple guys, man, that on his staff. What's the head coach at Colorado? Forgot his name. The OC now. He's working with a bunch of kids that he ain't had since he's been a coach.
Yeah.
No. So imagine what his play calling is going to be like. He has a quarterback that they talking about Heisman.
Yeah.
Right. They went out and handpicked their own receivers. You got to think about this too, man. I guarantee you that 90% of those kids that were brought in from this transfer portal were all handpicked.
Yeah.
They were extremely recruited. And here's the thing. They don't always have to be 4 or 5, 3, 4, 5 stars.
Yeah,
they don't even have to be stars, man.
Rated.
That, like, to me, that's the biggest misconception in college football, man. It's hurting. It hurts the game in a sense, but it also gives these kids it also gives those athletes a sense of, greatness, of achievement, things that they achieve. That could be a little personal goal, be a 4 or 5 star. Like, I get all that. But the fact that Colorado and Deion has handpicked a lot of those guys, they put them together, and you can almost watch, because they're showing almost everything. Like, there's just some stuff, obviously, you can't show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right,
but
right.
if you go back and watch him from the time he got there to the time now, like, that team is completely different. The way they talk, the way they walk, everything about the way they do is so much different.
Right.
And then he's bringing in guys from winning programs. So here's the thing. These kids ain't coming to lose.
Nah, they're not coming to lose
I ain't finna leave this winning program to come lose.
Right.
And then the Pac-12 ain't strong, man. They keep talking about this and that. I don't believe in UCLA.
I don't believe in UCLA.
I don't believe in UCLA.
Oh, it's only one team over there that I believe in, man.
It's
USC.
I believe in Oregon because they're going to be competitive.
Always.
Washington, very competitive. USC, a playoff team. But here's the wild card game. Here's the wild card team in the Pac-12, and it's Oregon State. Oregon State is liable to beat anybody on any given Saturday. Those are blue-collar, hard-nosed, come-to-work type players, type team, man. And like, those are the scary teams. But they're not going to go to the playoffs. They're not going to do none of that.
No.
But they're going to play you extremely hard, and they're coming to beat you.
Yeah, I got Colorado pulling out some surprises, especially that opening game versus TCU. Look out for that game, and that's going to say a lot about what's going to happen.
I like them to beat TCU.
Me too. Also, other things happening in sports, man. Real quick, man, I don't know if you heard, but they got it's a boxing match coming up, man. Got Spence versus Crawford. Spence, we've been waiting for this one for a long time.
We've been waiting for this for a little minute.
I've been waiting to hear.
I want to go Bud, man. I want to go Bud, but I'm going Spence, dog.
I'm not. I used to doubt Crawford's abilities too, man. I used to be like, I don't know. But Spence is like, I don't know. It's something about his game, man. Something about him in the ring that gives me like, he's equivalent to like Amari Cooper in the NFL. Like, as a receiver.
Who, Spence?
Yeah, it's like it's not real.
I think
it's a smooth domination. You know what I'm saying? It's a smooth domination. However, it's so smooth that you like, yeah, man, this ain't even. And I feel like Crawford is one of those guys that, man, once he start dominating, man, it's a problem, dog. Like, he's a true issue. So I don't know, man. I don't see Spence pulling this out. I got Crawford winning him by a knockout too. I got him winning by a knockout.
Man, we gotta
watch that fight.
Knockout?
By a knockout.
No.
I said knockout, 8th round. 8th round knockout. Yes, and it's gonna open some eyes.
We gotta put something on that.
I mean, we can do that.
Yeah. We gotta put something on that.
We'll talk about that in a later episode. But I'm definitely, especially the day of. We can do an episode the day of. Let's talk about it.
That's crazy.
Let's talk. I got Crawford 8th round knockout. That's me. I'm calling it out on the podcast.
I don't know
right now.
I don't even know who you sleep.
Yeah, all right. Spence is gonna be sleep, and everybody's gonna wonder what the hell happened. I got that going on, man. Speaking of Adrian Bonner, man, let's keep it on boxing. Adrian Bonner. Hey,
did you know he was just fighting the other day?
Yeah, I heard. I was just about to mention that, man. He had a very convincing win.
That dude doing, man.
He's now being managed by the infamous Don King.
He bringing Don back.
He's bringing Don back.
That's a desperate move because nobody wants to deal with him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got to fight he's got to fight for his lifestyle, man. I think the kid done blew millions and millions of dollars. Not sure how many millions, but I know at one point, man, he was making a pretty chunk of money, man. And once you see the people around him, they start like disappearing. I think his homeboy now, he sell real estate. You know, like
once they start disappearing, that money don't trickle out.
Yeah, that money don't trickle out, man. And he probably done spazzed on them about money, and they need to do something. You know, stuff like that. Your boy Robert Easter, he hang out with Robert Easter. He getting knocked out too.
Yeah.
So like,
I think Adrian, man, I'm rooting for him, but he gotta have one of those Mike Tyson type retribution moments where, you know, Mike went to jail for a couple of years, got out, and just went to just dogging folks, man. Wasn't really talking much about it. No interviews afterwards. Just knocked a few folks out. You know what I mean? Had everybody talking about him. Came out with his little meme mug and quick little fights, man. Just was dominant. And I don't know if Adrian can get back to that stature where he was dominant. I mean, he looks like he could if he really put his mind to it. But he need to have one of those moments, man. He gotta go a little run.
He's gotta fight one more guy. Like how he just fought the other day.
Yep.
And then, but he's got to like fight again in like November, like.
He gotta fight quick.
Yeah, he's got to fight another quick one. Yeah, he's got to come back around. He's got to fight somebody else. Yeah, a convincing win like this last one, and then he's got to fight one of these young bucks that's up for a title.
Yeah,
that people are speaking about the next up and coming guy or the next guy that's up for a title fight. They ain't felt like they ain't got their shot yet. You know, he's gonna have to do one of those.
Yeah.
And then he'll get. You know what? I wouldn't even be surprised if he's fighting Ryan Garcia at around this time next year.
That'll be a nice little fight. And actually, you know, with Ryan Garcia just losing, like it makes sense for him to you know what I'm saying, regain his popularity by beating somebody of a name, even though Bonner kind of ain't been.
But they both got a name. But here's the thing: Ryan Garcia is a young up and coming guy, right? Adrian Bonner is a guy that's been up. Now he fell. He's trying to get back up, right? And that's just a name like how he tried to fight Manny Pacquiao,
right?
Or Sean Spence trying to fight Manny Pacquiao. Like the guy's already reached his pinnacle of his career. Now he's just trying to stay active. But he has a name,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So
let's not forget when Bernard Hopkins went on his little run over after 40 years old, man. So like, you know, you never know, man. Maybe he can really resurrect his career with.
What about AB versus Devin Haney? I think that might be his first fight.
If Adrian Bonner was to really be back into boxing for real, like if this is really what he's on, I feel like he could beat Haney.
I think Haney ain't good, man.
I don't like Haney. I don't like him. I think he can dominate Haney. But again, it will have to determine if AB really trying to get back to being Adrian Bonner, man. Like he has to really get back into loving the sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So he gotta get back hungry again.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Let's talk a little about NFL.
Hey,
man.
well, before you hold on, man. Before you jump on to that, hey, man, what's up with the damn John Gotti and Floyd Mayweather, man? You seen that?
I seen bits and pieces of it. I seen little highlights. I seen that they ended the fight and Buddy tried to charge at the Mayweather anyway, and Mayweather gave him a couple of love taps.
Yeah, that was one of them. Like,
here's the thing: it was produced by Zeus, and they had the
I don't
the girls,
know who Zeus is.
They had what's the Bad Girls Club there in the crowd. So it's like, to me, a lot of that stuff could be
staged. But so why did they suspend Gotti then?
I don't know.
They suspended him from fights. He can't fight for like a year.
Oh, it was legit then.
And nothing happened to Mayweather.
Mayweather didn't attack.
No, but you know what I think happened? This is what I truly think happened, man. Like, Mayweather was playing around with the guy. Mm-hmm. He got extremely upset because he probably couldn't hit Mayweather, or things just wasn't going the way he expected it to go. Mm-hmm. He was tired of. He wanted a street brawl, and Mayweather wasn't giving it to him.
Right, 2-0.
And he got upset. He got upset, and then things started They started chopping in the ring. Not to mention they was already chopping up leading up to the fight.
Yeah.
And then once they got inside the ring and they got the pushing, and then Mayweather's 50,000 securities jumping in the ring,
Yeah.
and then they get to pushing everybody like they own the damn ring. And then I think that's.
I mean, they had a right to cut rush. Did you see it? Did you see
Yeah.
it? Because the referee done broke up the fight, and Cuz ran around the referee like he ain't have no care for life after Mayweather. And I'm like, if you coming up at me, I'm gonna tag you a few times too.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I don't understand what his motive was behind that. Like, I get that, you know, you could have been taunted and all the above. Mayweather could be an asshole, but for you to like throw away your career like that, or at least suspend your career, you know what I'm saying, chasing after Mayweather in an exhibition fight like that, it wasn't even a legit, you know what I'm saying, fight that would go towards your rankings. Like, you know, I get it, you want to beat the king, but I wouldn't even get into a fight with Mayweather if I couldn't handle the fact that he's going to be taunting me and it's going to be a stage act almost the entire time at Mayweather's age. But you know, hey, who am I? Talking about going where we're going with it. NFL, Dalvin Cook,
Dolphins
officially released.
Dolphins.
I see you already got your pick where he may go.
He need to go home, man. He need to go home. He need to be around some guys that fits his style of play. And I truly believe, man, what Buddy doing down there, he's from that Shanahan tree. He fits Cook's style of play. It ain't no bruising downhill. It's stretch. Use your vision. One cut. Get vertical, and everything else is on you. Once we get you to the second, third level, it's all on you at that point.
Yeah.
You know. So, yeah. I mean, my wild card guess is Denver, and I think Denver can pay him more than Miami. I think he's looking for a 2-year deal.
That's what I was
where he can get where he can make anywhere from 10 to 12 mil a year.
Yeah.
He's somewhere around that 10 to 11. Get him a quick little 23 mil.
Well, that's what I was saying next. Like, does he chase a check? Does he go home and be to the convenience of Florida where he's up and raised, or as you take a pay cut and you go to a contender? You know what I mean? Like, is Miami a contender? Would you consider Miami a contender at this particular point?
I think so. I think so, man. They upgraded the D. Offense was solid.
My concern with Miami
is Tua.
Yeah. It's Tua. Like, is he gonna be able to play all year? Even if he does play all year, is he gonna be the old Tua, the new Tua, the in between Tua?
They upgraded the O-line too.
Yeah, I mean, that's perfectly fine. The thing about it is, man, that kid's been through a lot, especially with these concussion protocols over the last year. And for him to have to sit out for almost the majority of the season for 2 or 3 different instances of having concussion, I can't put my hope in that type of franchise quarterback at this particular point. I gotta have a backup option.
Who's their backup?
I don't know. Did they sign a backup? Not sure who they grabbed as a backup at this particular point. That's something we could definitely look into. But like, I don't trust to have Tua go down in the middle of a game and we're like, who do we have up next to take us to this promised land if he goes down with one concussion? Because I feel like he's one concussion away from having to sit out for the
forever.
His career.
Forever.
He's got to give it up at that point. So like, who do you put your faith in? Like, Teddy Bridgewater's still out there, but we see what he did out there last year. Teddy Bridgewater tried to take over for Tua, wasn't able to really get him further than the third string at that particular point.
They just need a game manager, man. Like, somebody that can manage the game, somebody that can hand the ball off and then get it to Waddle, the tight end, Grokey, whatever his name is, and Tyreek Hill. So if they got the run game, and then they got two of the fastest receivers in the NFL, maybe even like almost the planet, they're top 100 fastest guy in the United States.
Yeah, well, Yeah.
I mean, you can add all the track people that run track, and I don't think there's 100 guys faster than those two. Like, there's guys running, there's guys that's fast, but especially when you got somebody like a Tyreek who can literally go from 0 to 80 in like 0.513 seconds, like that's gonna give you a too high look.
Yeah.
That's gonna take people out the box.
Yeah.
So for your boy, man, he gotta manage the game, man. If he can't manage the game, he need to get cut and then call it a day.
It looks like they signed backup from New York Jets last year, Mike White, as their backup.
Oh, they did bring him in.
We'll see how that works out. Mike had a couple of solid games throughout his career, but also a lot of tumultuous games, as they would say. Where he kind of bummed the place out. So we'll see how that works out, man. I like Dalvin going to Miami, but it's dark horse.
Denver,
I like it. Houston. I like Houston. If he goes to Houston,
I can't see him going to Houston.
Yeah, I know you can't. But what they got going on over there, man, rehauling the roster, you know what I mean? Really, those type of games,
Houston?
the teams is built on defense. They just need a running back. If those type of teams is built on defense, man.
What about
the ball is
Carolina?
important. Carolina's also a interesting destination. You got Bryce Young at QB. A lot of those teams, man, with young QBs, what they really want to do is just run the ball. You want to make it easier for your QB to come into the game. And when you got people like Waddle and Hill and Gesicki at tight end, you got the ball spread out thin. And as you Dalvin Cook, you're 27 years old, man. You still want another contract. You know what I mean? You still want to see what you can do. You're not in it for like a one and done and to get 800 yards a season because you're spelling with somebody else. And that's just not how I see Dalvin Cook's career going right now. So that's what he need right now to finish a whole season. Shit, he can't finish the season. That's why Minnesota cut him. If he can finish the season, he still will be playing. He's right now. Minnesota just did him exactly the way they did Ezekiel Elliott. Here's the thing: Ezekiel Elliott is older. And they did the same way. You cannot tell me that Jerry was cutting Ezekiel in his prime. No. Come on, man. Right. So Dalvin Cook is still in his prime. Right. But why are you cutting him? Man, he can't finish the season. We paying him all this bread, man. He can't finish. Okay. So yes, I am going to go to Miami where I can take 150 less hits based off my carries and still produce at 1,100 yards because of the weapons I got around me. The weapons that are going to lighten the box up for me to hit more explosive plays with less carries. So now, I just showed you the biggest thing is I can finish a whole season. It's the biggest thing. I can finish a whole season. And then 2, I'm still in my prime. Look how explosive I am. If y'all just use me this way. Come on, man. He still got another 3-4 years in him. I got you. We'll see how that play out because you know how that goes. Even the NFLPAs want to separate themselves from running backs alone because of the way their contracts are structured and the way they get done after their first contract. But that's a story to be told at a later date, man. Always. Man. Great episode, man. We had a lot to talk about here with the y'all call us up, man. We need your input. We like to get your reviews, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. Let us know how we doing, man. Let us know what you want us to talk about. Maybe we can get you on here and you can ask us. Let's make this thing shake. Let's network. Yeah, for those that are actually get on, man, definitely hit our DMs, man. We'll be more than happy to have you on the podcast, man, to talk about some sports or lifestyles or whatever else is going on in the world, man. And this is the Drop for 5 podcast. It's your boy, Coach Chris. It's your boy, Coach Miles. We out, man.